What's good, man? We're back again with another video. Before I get into what I'm gonna talk about, my new camera comes in this week, so this is all gonna look pretty good by the end of the week. I got some other stuff coming in for the walls later on this week, so the view's gonna look better now. Now I think my content's been going up as far as what I've been talking about. Like I already told y'all about my thumbnails; they've been going up. So I'm trying to make that push, man. I'm trying to at least get 500 by the end of this year and 1,000 by March. So help me out with that. Like and subscribe, share with your friends. But other than that, man, for this video, I'm talking about the Nets, and I was in a shower, and I was thinking like, yo, I done did a lot of fucking reviews, and I was just watching them, looking at my prediction. I was like, yo, hold on, how the fuck did I didn't do the Nets yet? Like, the Nets was the most talked about team throughout the whole offseason. I didn't do them. That's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, today we're gonna talk about the Nets. Just to start off with, I think they got way better than they were last year, especially the addition of Ben Simmons. We'll talk about that later on. But the underrated trades and pickups that they made, getting Royce O'Neal, I felt like that was a really good trade, because even if they would have came in with the same roster as last year, they didn't really have a perimeter defender other than Ben Simmons, and he was out. And getting another perimeter defender in Royce O'Neal, who doesn't need the ball at all, really good as a spot-up shooter and a decent defender. I'll say he's a good defender. I just don't like Royce O'Neal. Like that playoffs against Paul George, when he was trying to talk shit on Paul George while he was fucking him up, like that shit made me mad. But Royce O'Neal's a good defender, so they got him. Only traded a first-round pick for him. That's not really bad. And then you go out there and you get T.J. Warren. Now I don't know who T.J. Warren is, because last time we seen him, he was fucking crazy as far as scoring wise. But what he's always been was he's always been a decent defender. And when he's locked in, he's always been a good defender, especially when he was making playoff pushes with that Pacers team. He was always really good on the defensive side. And on the offensive side, throughout his whole career, he just got better. Like, he wasn't always that T.J. Warren that we've seen in the bubble. He started off just as a wing that was a good defender. Other than that, he wasn't really nothing. Then he just kept building on, started turning into a 3-and-D wing, and then went to the Pacers. Then he started getting his buckets along Victor Oladipo, and now he's like a legit bucket. And that bubble, I don't think it was a fluke as far as the way he was getting his buckets. I just think he's not going to go out there and average 29 points. But T.J. Warren, don't get it twisted, he is a legit bucket. So having that addition alongside, you're getting Joe Harris from last year, who he didn't play, I believe, at all last year. You're getting him back, one of the best shooters we have in this league, one of the most consistent shooters we have in this league. That's a big addition, and I want to know if they're going to start him or Seth Curry, because Seth Curry might be the better player overall, but Seth Curry may be more valuable off the bench as being the better scorer out of the two. Like, Joe Harris is just a legit spot-up three-point shooter. He can get buckets at times. I've seen him put the ball on the floor a lot. But, like, Seth Curry, that's what he is now. He's not just a shooter. Like, Seth Curry is also a dude that's a bucket. So you have him. That's also a good addition. And then, like I said, you bring in Ben Simmons. Now, the thing with this whole Ben Simmons addition is, I've always been one to say you build around Ben. Like, when I was looking at him and Embiid, I felt like the perfect person to build around was Ben, because it's not that hard. And I think what the Nets did, and they don't even realize, they actually built around Ben. Like, this team is perfectly built around Ben. You have KD, you have Kyrie, buckets. And what the best thing about those buckets is, they're also really valuable off ball. And with a ball-dominant guy like Ben Simmons, who can pass and play make like Ben Simmons, that's just, this offense has the potential to be the best offense in the league by far. And then you have Ben Simmons being a primary ball handler at times, because we already seen Kyrie give up the primary ball handling job to James Harden. I can see him doing the same thing with Ben Simmons. So you have KD as Kyrie and Kyrie as spot-up shooters, also buckets alongside Ben Simmons. And you have Joe Harris and Seth Curry, who's also two of the best shooters we have in this league. You also have Royce O'Neal, who's a good shooter. T.J. Warren is a good shooter. Cam Thomas is a good shooter. This team is like really built around Ben, and then you have a good pick and roll partner in Day'Ron Sharpe and Nicholas Claxton. Guys, it's not going to clog the paint, even though they can't shoot. Nicholas Claxton, at times, he's not always in the paint, so Ben can also get his own buckets as far as taking it to the rim. And I just love what I've seen from him in the interview with JJ Redick, saying he's going to shoot the ball more. I don't know if I can buy into that a lot,
But that is the first time I ever heard him say it confidently that I have to shoot the ball more. So I am actually confident in him doing that. But looking at this team as a whole, this team is fucking built around Ben. And that's the scary part. Because I've always felt like if you built around Ben, I always felt he can be not the number one option, but a main guy on somebody's team. And this is what it looks like. I think this is the perfect team built around Ben. And the sky's the limit for this team. And then I didn't even dig super deep into that bench. They still have Patty Mills, who again is also a knockdown shooter. You going out and you get Markieff Morris and Edmund Sumner. Markieff Morris, gritty defender, can shoot the ball. Edmund Sumner can take it to the rim. Really athletic guy. Can shoot the ball to an extent. And a good defender. Like, this team is built around Ben when you really deep dive and look at it. Kessler Edwards, same thing, can shoot the ball, can defend. This team is a perfect team built around Ben. The one thing they do lack is bigs. I think Nicholas Claxton is really good in the pick and roll as far as setting the pick and getting to the basket, being a lob threat. But other than that, he's not really nothing else. Terrible free throw shooter, really bad. I think he missed 11 free throws in a row in one of those playoff games last year. That could have won them the games. One of those 4 games that was really close. If he would have made at least a couple free throws, they would have won. So I'm not really too high on him. But I also don't think this is going to be the final team we see at the end of the year. Miles Turner has been in trade rumors for I don't know how long. He's been in the league for 8 years. Since his 4th year, he's been in trade rumors. And they almost got him last year. So they definitely have their eye on that situation. And I wouldn't be surprised at some point in the middle of the season if they try to make that trade, try to flip off Joe Harris. Because, again, you have a lot of tools. You have a lot of guards, shooting guards. So Joe Harris can be expendable at times. And you trade Joe Harris and another pick if they had one. I don't know. You trade Joe Harris and another pick for Miles Turner. That should be able to get the deal done. And now we're looking at a team with Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, T.J. Warren, Royce O'Neal, and then Miles Turner as the starting 5. That's a really good starting 5 that can beat damn near everybody in the league. When we're looking at this team, it's one thing holding them back. It's one thing. And we all know that one thing. That is Steve Nash. Now, I'm not as hard as... Whoa. I'm not that hard on Steve Nash as everybody else is, because when I look at the shit that he has to deal with, he just hasn't had stability throughout his first 3 years of coaching. The first year, KD and Kyrie are out the whole year. You're by yourself, basically the whole year. The second year, I believe KD was out for a big part of the second year, if I'm not mistaken. Then you get that whole trade for James Harden. So you're trying to get him into the system, trying to work that out. And KD was out for a big part of that year, because I remember James Harden and Kyrie was running. Then also Kyrie comes out, and then both of them come back later on to the end of the year. So you're basically going into the playoffs with a newer team. And y'all have a good first round series where y'all dominate the Celtics. But the second round series, Kyrie gets hurt in game 2, and James Harden gets hurt in game 4, I believe, or something. And now you're out there just running with KD. And again, you're with a non-healthy team. First of all, the team was never good in the first place. They just had KD. So we all looked at them as they were that team because we all believe in KD. But they were never really that good. But this team right now that they have is really good. But then you back that up with last year. Then you trade James Harden for Ben Simmons. Now he's not playing. Again, KD is hurt for a big part of the season again. And then you have Kyrie Irving missing the first 3 quarters of the season with the whole COVID mandate. He has never had stability. We don't even know if he's good. He's a good coach. We don't know that. In my opinion, I don't think we can label him as a good or a bad coach, because we just haven't seen him with a legit roster that has stability. So this is the first year, in my opinion, that we're going to be able to judge Steve Nash if this roster is healthy, of course. If KD misses a big part of the year again, I'm going to say the same shit. He's missing his best guy. But I understand some coaches... the good coaches are able to come above that, but that shit is hard, bro. He's dealt with a lot of shit. So I'm not really one to tear down Steve Nash. Like I said, I don't know if he's good or bad yet. Even in that Nets series, I understand he was just begging for KD to do anything. But when you look at that series, what the fuck else was he supposed to do? They didn't have nobody, and they was going against the best team in the league. Against the Bucks, he couldn't do nothing else. Just give the ball to KD, let KD beat KD, and that's what took them to Game 7. But I'm not going to put that on Steve Nash because he really didn't make no adjustments. He couldn't really do anything. Same thing with last year. The team just got together a couple weeks before that playoff series, and you're going against one of the best teams, if not the best team that was in the league last year, with one of the best defense we've seen of all time. It was no adjustment to make. You were just begging for Ben Simmons to come back to stop one of them Jays. That's it. So I'm not really going to tear down Steve Nash, but looking at this team, their ceiling is obviously a championship. Like I said, I think they can beat anybody fully healthy. Just looking at this team with that big three that they have that fits so perfectly. This team, their ceiling is a championship, and I think their floor is a conference finals. Like, this team can beat anybody. And if I think who KD is how do I say that? If KD is who I think he is, he should be able to get them to the conference finals. That's what I'm going with. God damn, I'm fucking up. But that's what I'm going with. If KD is who I think he is, he should be able to get them to the conference finals. If he is that top 3 player, I think he is top 15 of all time. He should be able to get this team to the conference finals. This is one of the best teams that he's had since Golden State, and arguably this is one of the best teams he's had in his career other than Golden State. So he should be able to get this team to the conference finals. That's their floor to me. Like I said, their ceiling is champions. But hey, we'll see. Other than that, man, that's it for this video. I got one more to record after this. Peace out.